Hi everybody, it's finally October and it's also Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And it's also National Bullying Month. And a little bit about me, my name is Jennifer Strauss and I have mosaic Down syndrome. And this year in February, I became an ambassador for the Down syndrome organization called Nothing Down. And since being an ambassador, I have been on a mission to um, explore and be active in that organization with whatever it is they throw at me. I am so going to do it. So that's my brief introduction. And so, like I said, I actually mentioned that it's also National Bullying Month. Well, my main focus of the message, basically my story, is the bullying that I went through when I was young. And I'm going to start, and I'm very excited to tell you my story. So it all started when I was young, around 11 and 12 years old, fourth grade going into fifth grade. I was a bus rider. So I'm at my bus stop and I get on my bus, and then we go around to other neighborhoods, and we would pick up more people, more kids. And there was this one girl. She always found herself in front of me, and she was a very pretty girl. And I understand that when you're pretty, you want to maintain your self-image. So one of the things that she did that really, really bothered me was that while her hair was wet, and this is just the physical aspect of the bullying, and this was the only time when it happened. So her hair is wet, and she would deliberately fling her long blonde hair, and it hits me in the face. And if she wasn't doing that, and if her hair was already dry, she would take out her hairspray, and then she would spray it all over her hair, and oh my gosh, it got on my face. And I did not like that. So at one moment during the times that she was doing that, my sister actually said something to her to stop doing her hair on the bus and getting the hairspray on my face and in my eyes. So she eventually stopped that part. But also at some point in elementary school was gum getting in my hair. And I remember one time I actually had to go to the office because I said someone put gum in my hair and I don't know how to get it out of my hair. So I was in the nurse's station and she's trying to find a way to get the gum out of my hair. She did a good job. I think she grabbed a piece of ice, and I think something with ice helps loosen the gum out of someone's hair. So she was doing that, and that continued a little bit, but that wasn't so bad of the issue. And the worst part of it was when I was in middle school, and those were the years that I did not enjoy. I mean, to some part I did, but it was all in the emotional bullying that I was going through at the time. And it was during history class. This boy is sitting behind me. He's poking me in the back, trying to get my attention as I'm trying to work on my classwork. And he just blatantly blurts out the word Zeus. Now, at the time, I had no idea what Zeus was or what it meant. I thought it had something to do with all the pimples that I had because I was going through a phase as a woman. And so my whole entire sixth grade year, after the boy said Zeus, he was telling a lot of people, call Jen Strauss Zeus. That is her name. Don't say Jen, just say Zeus. So that went on the whole entire 6th grade year, and I was not liking it whatsoever. My sister was in 5th grade and in elementary, so she couldn't help me out with anything. And when 7th grade came around, I actually knew what Zeus meant. Uh, in Greek mythology, Zeus was the father of all gods. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so Zeus is a god, a Greek god. So I'm thinking, okay, Greek god, and I'm a female. I'm a goddess. But I still didn't like the name calling. I mean, I was in 7th grade. So I didn't know anything about the bullying or anything like that. And during those times, it was also rough because I remember around that time, I was bringing a beverage with me to school. And that was when I was taking some iced tea and I found some vodka and I poured the vodka in my iced tea. And I would walk around my middle school taking a sip every now and then, every time it got to me. And also during 7th grade, my sister was finally in middle school with me. And she found out what was going on, how everyone is calling me Zeus. And a few times I actually had a sign taped to my back. It didn't say kick me or anything like that. It was like whatever the kids were coming up with at the time. I don't remember what they were coming up with at the time. But it was bad because I just remember feeling like crap, and I couldn't talk to my parents because I felt that they would not understand. So I would bring the drink with me to school. Now, mind you, I did not get drunk or get buzzed. I was relaxed. So, but eventually I got caught, and I'm kind of glad I did. I mean, that's one moment I regret in my life, but I was also masking the feelings that I had of being bullied emotionally, just playing with my emotions and all that stuff. And so my sister ends up fighting my battles, and if it wasn't for her, I don't know. I know where I would be today as a person at this moment in time, but at that time in 7th grade, when she's fighting my battles, I'm like, wow, my sister can really fight. I was impressed. And my sister was a tomboy, so she wasn't like a girly girl like I was. So, yes, my sister fought my battles, and it continued up until 8th grade. And 8th grade time, still. Yes, I knew what Zeus was, and it was just rough and it was bad. But I could not wait to escape the middle school scene and enter high school. So my sister's now in 8th grade and I'm in 9th grade now, and things were, which I thought were looking up. Well, some people thought it was still cool to call me Zeus. Some more people knew about the Zeus chants from middle school, and people who I didn't even know were calling me Zeus, and I kept thinking to myself, why? Why call me names? Do I call you names? No, but yet you're calling me names. So, how I thought of it as at the time, I didn't say anything to anyone about it, but I'm like, it's got to be the peer pressure. So, of course, everyone wants to look good in front of their friends. So, with that being said, it's like one person of the group would be the main person, and that main person would tell the people in that group, say, hey, call this person Zeus because that's what she is. Yet these classmates of mine didn't even bother to get to know me. I mean, I don't care that they never got the chance to know me, but what they were doing to me really hurt. And it was bad. So I was like upset. I wanted to cry. And so I didn't cry. I kept it all in. But I remember going home a few times and just like letting it all out. I would go into my room and hide. I didn't want to do anything. But eventually I got out of that shell when I became a sophomore in high school. Now, I have to back up for a moment. So I grew up in South Florida. So all my schooling happened in South Florida. So I had a lot of friends who would back me up at times, even from middle school. They would say, "Don't pick on Jen. What is she doing to you?" "Nothing. Stop picking on her." It went something like that, I guess. And so, going back to my high school days, 10th grade finally rolls around, and one of the most popular girls, excuse me, comes up to me and she says, "Hey Jen, why don't you get involved with some clubs and such?" I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I can use a distraction. So I got involved with SAD and Key Club and Crime Watch. I was a peer counselor. I think I did a few other things, but I don't remember offhand. And so I remember just staying active. And the best part was I was also maintaining a lot of school spirit, and I would help out with student council. I would help out by being creative and making like class of 96 seniors and all that stuff. And so it was great. I enjoyed every second of that. So the Zeus chants died down. But still in high school, during my senior year, just very, very few people called me Zeus. So I let it go. I let it slide. I'm like, this has probably have to do a lot of their upbringing, as I'm thinking about it now, on why they're treating me like crap. Maybe they were treated like crap. I don't know. But that's the only conclusion I can make out of all this. So high school ended, and now I'm off into the real world as a young adult. Oh, I gotta back up just a little bit. So in 1995, my father passed, and it was a rough time for me. So I remember staying a little bit secluded, a little bit, and staying away from some people because I don't want them to think anything less of me because I lost my father. I mean, my father was a great guy, and I loved everything about my father. He was a firefighter, and he was a bass fisherman, and everyone loved him, and it was all great. I loved my dad so much, and when he passed, it broke me like it would with anyone after losing a parent. So at some point I didn't really get over it, but I was just still feeling like down. And during that time when my father passed, no one was not picking on me because everyone heard what happened, and they're like, okay, we have to give Jen a break. Let's not call her Zeus or anything, because her sister will just jump in and take control of the situation, in which my sister did. I mean, she fought my battles pretty good, and I'm very thankful for my sister because she is my biggest supporter back then, and she is to this very day. So moving ahead to after high school life, I tried my best with other things in life. Like I attended some college, but I never finished because I had a lot going on. I was stressing out. I had like 3 jobs at one point. And so everything was pretty okay. Then Facebook comes around. And I remember when I first started, it was awesome. It was great. And I'm like, all right, finally I could reconnect with all my friends. And I reconnected with all my friends, and I think it was late 2006 when I got on. So I remember, yeah, it was right after I put together my 10-year high school reunion. And I had so much fun doing that. And, but the one thing I learned from that is that I was, people were gossiping about me on why I was putting together my 10-year class reunion. Everyone says, "Oh, that's the school. That's your senior class officer job, class president." That's what I meant. And I'm like, not necessarily. Anyone can start a reunion and see to the very end. So I know things were said about me. So, and yes, it got me down. Because I'm like, all right, my emotions are getting played with again. And here I am, I'm like early 30s at that point. No, I was late 20s, not 30s. And I'm like, wow, we've been out of high school for how long now? At the time was 10 years. It's like, grow up a little, shall we? So, a couple years goes by, and I'm on Facebook, and I was friends with a lot of people because I'm a very social person. I'm approached as a very friendly person and kind, with a wonderful heart. But some people saw that as a weakness and started to say, "Oh, I can't be friends with you because so and so said that you're not a great person." Really? Who are you going to believe, me or them? I mean, I've done nothing wrong to anyone. I've never hurt anyone. And if I did, I apologized for being an idiot that I was at the time. But it's all about, like, peer pressure. And then that's when the cyberbullying came in with me. And some people didn't like the fact, when it comes to my 10-year reunion, that I put it together. Some people did not even like it. I'm like, you know what? It's a reunion. Get over yourself. That was my initial thought with things. And so then a couple years go by, and I was approached to try some Mary Kay. And everyone knows what Mary Kay is, and if you don't, it's a cosmetic line for women. Even men can use it. There's some men stuff involved with Mary Kay, I know that. But it's all about, like, the beauty aspect of like makeup and all that stuff. And so I thought about it, but I wasn't quite ready to do it. And then all of a sudden, I was gifted. And the one girl paid for it. And I remember the one thing that she said to me, "You can pay me back in due time." I'm like, pay you back in due time? You just gifted me this Mary Kay. So I remember coming home from work one day, and there's a box at my apartment at the time, and I'm like, she did not just do this. So I kind of got taken advantage of and suckered in, and I was like, all right, I'll just see how this goes. Well, I learned a lot, but it wasn't quite me. So when she said that I had to venture off and try it on my own, I mean, I wasn't even doing it for a year. I was like maybe like six or 7 months I tried it, and I tried my best with it. And then so she said, "Oh, you got to venture off." I'm like, but I'm still going to have questions. It's how I learn is by asking questions. She's like, "You don't need to ask me any questions. You're fine." I'm like, "How do you know?" And she saw the frustration in me, and then all of a sudden, I get blocked on Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously. I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't. So, therefore, So I started not going to the meetings and such, and then I just completely stopped. And as for her, I don't know. I know how old I was at the time. I know how old she was. She took advantage of me. She played with my emotions a little bit. And then, well, she told her group of friends to not be friends with me, to block Jen Strauss, because she's not a good person. She's not the kind-hearted person that I thought she was. I'm a very optimistic person, so she loved that in me. But at the very end, I was like, you know what? I don't need to be friends with you. I may have known you for a long time, but that doesn't justify anything. So that happened. That's said and done. And then other people were just being gossipy and claiming I did things and I didn't do anything. This one girl, perfect example of being mean and cruel. She accused me of sending an email, I think it was to her or to her sister, of me in a bathtub. And I'm like, okay. And she didn't even want to hear my side of it. I said, first of all, I said in an email, I think through Messenger or something, a long time ago, obviously, I said, that is not my style. Why would I do that? Why would I expose myself to that? I have no reason to. If I do what I do on my own time is my own time. I don't broadcast stuff like that on social media. It's stupid. That's how you get in trouble. Why would I do that? Of course, what ends up happening, she verbally attacked me. And I'm just like, wow. She was really something. And her sister as well. I was friends with them in school, but it's not all fun and games when you actually know how they're treating someone. So they were going around telling whoever they're friends with, don't be friends with Jen Strauss. No. No, no, no. I'm like, well, nothing I can do about it. I look at the quality of friends, not the quantity. So I'm like, all right, they're gone. They're out of my life. Thank God. So, then the same person, about maybe a year and a half later after that, again through Facebook. So what I do, I'm an admin for my high school's memorial page. And so people would tell me who passed, what year they graduated, or and all that stuff. And so I do that on my spare time. Well, this one moment, a classmate passed. And she accused me of making a memorial page just for that student, for that classmate. And I did not, and she did not want to hear anything out of me. She goes, stop doing that stuff. I'm like, doing what? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, wow. Same person from the bathtub that she claims that I sent to her or her sister, something like that. So I was emotionally bullied out of that. Then, of course, I lost friends. I'm like, all right, I don't care. I was never friends with these people to begin with in school, but I figured when Facebook started, I'm like, all right, I could try my best. I could try my hand. Nope. They want to stay in their little own world. I don't care how quiet or smart they were at the time. I don't care. I just thought maybe I could just, hey, give me a chance. Some did not even want the chance out of me. I'm like, you know what? How it is? It's okay. You're not going to win everyone over in this world. So you just got to play the hand in your deck of what you're dealt with and go with it in this world and just try. So I tried my best with a lot of people, my classmates especially. But like I said, it's about the quality of friends, not the quantity. So some people are about the quantity. They're so eager to get up to 5,000 friends or whatever. At the time, I did not know what the max was. But so yeah, the max on Facebook is 5,000 friends. So Some people are about that aspect of Facebook, social media. Me, it's all about the quality. So, everyone who has ever known me knows I'm a very sweet, kind, friendly, optimistic, and positive person. Have I ever been rude or mean? Well, not intentionally, but I know I've gotten a little bit smart at times. But I try hard not to because I don't want to, like, tick off my friends in any way. So, I know I may have said things in the past, and I already said my apologies. But would these people who ever been bullied me apologize to me? Only 2 people did that. They're like, oh my gosh, I did not know you had mosaic Down syndrome. I did not know that this is what happened to you. And they said, I am so truly sorry what you've been through and how I treated you as well. So when those 2 people stepped up, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So it was just wonderful for the most part. And now I don't get the emotional bullying. Yeah, I still get taken advantage of, but in the end, I'm still a human being. I treat people how one should be treated. Most of the time. Sometimes I forget, but I always remember because I'm just good like that. I have a wonderful memory filled with all sorts of things, from dates to birthdays and other things I can possibly remember about a particular friend. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? And I'm like, I just do it. So most people love me for just who I am as a person. And when I came out on Facebook that I have mosaic Down syndrome back in 2011, this is right before I became my own advocate in 2012, everyone was just amazed, like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, I know you had no idea. But that doesn't change anything. The only thing that's different about me is the extra chromosome. I know I don't look like I have mosaic Down syndrome, but I do. I even have proof in my own medical file. So, I mean, I don't need to justify myself to anyone about what I have, unless they want to know. And because I'm part of, like, a lot of Down syndrome communities on Facebook, most people know who I am. And they know that I do these wonderful videos like these. And so my main purpose of this bullying aspect of things is to, if you see anyone bullying anyone, tell someone. Especially if you're in school, go to a teacher or the school principal and saying, hey, so and so is picking on me, doing awful things to me. I needed to stop. Because the next thing after that usually most people don't realize is the suicide aspect of things. I never got that far, ever, except for, well, I have thought about it, I'm not gonna lie. But it's just hard to see someone getting bullied and bullied over and over again, whether it's physical, sexual, not the sexual, whether it's physical or emotional. I know there's more parts of bullying out there that people go through. Cyberbullying. I mean, I've been through that. I mean, what is this world coming to? Why do we have to bully people? My answer is one thing. I personally, in my opinion, based on the person who's doing the bullying, their upbringing. So, in conclusion, with the bullying, just one evening, for I'm a WWE fan, John Cena. Everyone knows who John Cena is by now, I hope, and he started a campaign: is don't be a bully, be a star. So I was like, all right, don't be a bully, be a star. Well, be a star about things instead of being the bully. I mean, bullying is all about the peer pressure and making your friends look good because you want to maintain your image in school for picking on someone. That's not the way to do things in life. I mean, yeah, you're going to get bullied by almost anyone in this world. Some people know how to handle it, some people don't. But when it comes to your kids, for all those new parents out there who are watching, just know one thing when it comes to bullying. Make sure that you talk with the teachers and maybe possibly the classmates and say, this is my son and daughter. Sorry, this is my son or daughter. This is what they have. And so most people that I know would be like, okay, so this person may be different. We don't have to pick on them. So I want to thank you very much for taking the time and listening about my story and my message, as well as don't be a bully, be a star. But you are all more than welcome to follow me through Instagram and my other Facebook page, not my personal page, but my other page. And this is how you can locate me. And like I said in the beginning, I am a Nothing Down ambassador. Oh, about Nothing Down. Well, first of all, they are a non-profit Down syndrome organization based in New Jersey, and they have been nothing but amazing. From what they're doing in their mission to recognize people who have Down syndrome and becoming an ambassador. Let's just say that being an ambassador, and I'm the only one in the state of Wisconsin, I was over the moon excited when that happened. So you can follow Nothing Down. It's nothingdown.org if you want to follow them. And if you click on the ambassadors, once you're on that page, you will see a list of the lifetime ambassadors, which I'm striving to get up there at some point. But the other ambassadors by year. So I'm in the 2019 for this year for being a Nothing Down ambassador. And one of my missions is to help stop the bullying and just be the speaker that I want to be to get the message out, saying, hey, bullying is not cool. Don't do it. Don't listen to your friends when they tell you to do something. You make your own decisions. So I want to thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And I just want to say one thing. I learned this in sign language. It's I love you. I can even spell it out by hand, but I can't really seem to do that. But I love you all. Thank you for watching, and you all have a blessed and the most wonderful Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Because I know I'm going to be having a blast doing what I do best as an ambassador and as a person. So thank you for taking the time. Again, I love you all. Bye, guys.